It started out just like any other day. After a long day of chemistry classes at the nearby university, I rushed to my part-time job as a server at the nearby Fusion Tea House.
Hi, welcome to Fusion Tea House. Thank you for waiting. Here's our tea menu for today. We offer a wide variety of teas from all over the world. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's something specific that you like.
Yes, I'd like to try something aromatic, something that smells nice. What do you have for that?
We have the perfect tea for you, sir. If you look at the Taiwanese teas, I'd highly recommend the Alishan Oolong tea. It's imported from Taiwan's Alishan Mountain, which produces some of the highest quality teas and highest altitude teas there are to offer. Teas grown at higher altitudes have more complex aromatic properties and flavors. This particular tea has a rich and floral aroma with some hints of vanilla, coconut, and exotic fruits.
That sounds great. I'll have some of that.
Very well. I'll be right back with your tea, sir.
I just continued about my business. But then, I saw him. That face. I'll never forget it. It's forever seared into my memory. It was so long ago, but it seems just like yesterday. 7 years ago, when my older brother had gotten his first job at the bank downtown, he was so excited. That day was his first day at work. I remember watching the news that night while waiting for my brother to come home. And then, suddenly, that face on the TV. There had been a robbery at a bank. At the bank. My brother had just been getting ready to come home when the bank was robbed, and he didn't make it out alive. It was all because of that man sitting out there. He's managed to evade the police ever since the robbery, each time leaving behind a trail of dead bodies. And there he is now, just sitting in the tea shop. I have to do something. I must do something. But what? By the time the police get here, he'd be long gone.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Welcome to Fusion Tea House. Here's our tea menu. We offer a wide variety of teas from all over the world here. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.
What strong fragrant teas do you guys have?
Well, I'd personally recommend the Assam Duflating Orthodox. It's imported from Assam, India, and Assam is one of the largest tea growing regions in the world, and Duflating is one of the largest gardens in Assam. This particular tea has a rich and nutty flavor with contrasting bitter and sweet tones.
That's interesting. How's it made?
Most teas in the Assam region are produced using the CTC method or the crushed, carrying, and curling method. However, this particular tea is produced using the orthodox method, which produces a higher quality tea. Unlike the CTC method of producing tea, the orthodox method has 5 steps: withering, rolling, oxidation, dehydration, and sorting. Now the first step, which is withering, reduces the water content inside the tea leaves, so at the end of this process there are only 60 to 70% of the original moisture in the tea leaves left. Then the rolling stage begins. Rolling breaks the outer membrane of the tea leaves, which causes the oils and enzymes inside the tea leaf to be released. Once it's released, oxidation begins. In oxidation, the enzymes inside the tea leaves that were just released react with the oxygen to form a process known as enzymatic oxidation. And this is what determines the flavor, strength, body, and color of the tea. Finally, the drying stage ends the oxidation stage, and during the drying stage, the teas are reduced to 2 to 6% of their original moisture content. Finally, the tea is sorted and then exported to places so that we have tea for you here.
Wow, that's quite a complicated and lengthy process.
Which is why it's one of our higher quality teas. If you're interested in learning more about tea production, we have a book right over here for you that you can read. And it's called Tea, History, Terroirs, and Varieties. I'd recommend it if you're interested in learning more about tea.
Yeah, I'd like to try the Assam deflating tea, and I'll take a look at the book too.
Sure, I'll bring that out right away.
Thank you.
Okay, the police won't get here in time, and I can't possibly detain him. I'll have to kill him. I'll trade his life for my brother's life. But how? I don't know how to kill. I'm a chemistry student at the nearby university. Perhaps maybe I can use my chemistry knowledge to help me. Oh, hold on a second. I can't believe I have this book. The Elements of Murder. A book about the gruesome history of different kinds of poison used in murder would be conveniently helpful in this situation. Professor Oak is crazy for teaching something like this to us, but this will help me. I know it. Okay, so the book has a bunch of stuff about different toxins. This will be very helpful. Let's see. Antimony. No, that wouldn't work because it's not lethal enough. Mercury? No, I can't get any. Arsenic. Where would I get arsenic? Florence Maybrick's murder of her husband with arsenic, using flypaper. That sounds like it could work. I know the chef keeps some flypaper around here to keep the flies away from the food. Where could that be? This box of flypaper looks like it could be 100 years old. Nobody's touched this in a while. Well, anything works, I guess. Each piece contains about 400 milligrams of arsenic. Lethal dose is, let's see, about 250 milligrams. So that would be enough, I believe. Soaking the paper would extract the poison. I'll do that while I serve the other customer.
Here you go, sir. Your Alishan oolong tea. So, because this is a Taiwanese tea, we're going to prepare it using a Taiwanese tea serving ceremony called the Gongfu Cha. So, first we'll start off with the tea. The tea leaves are located here. So first, I'm going to put a few scoops of tea into this teapot. Then, I pour some hot water into this teapot. Which I then immediately pour out and discard. Then you pour hot water again into the teapot. And this time you let it sit for a few seconds so that it can infuse. So now that it's steeped for a few seconds, we can pour it into the cha hai. Then you pour it from the cha hai to the wenxiang bei, or the fragrance cup. From here on, you pour it directly into the teacup, and this is so that you can smell the aroma.
It smells very fragrant.
That's why it's one of my favorites. So if you have any more questions, feel free to call me over.
Thank you.
Enjoy your tea.
Stay calm. Don't do anything rash. Don't get impatient. Just answer his questions like any normal customer, but try to stall for more time. I need to distract him so that he can finish the pot.
Excuse me for asking, sir, but what book are you reading?
It's Eoin Colfer.
Owen Colfer? Oh, I love Owen Colfer. I read all of his Artemis Fowl books. Which book is this one?
It's called Airman. If you're really interested, it's about a child prodigy who's named Connor, and one day he witnesses a corrupt marshal kill his king and his teacher, and so the marshal frames the murder on Connor, and then he goes to jail, and when he escapes from jail, he spends a few years tracking down and getting justice.
That sounds fascinating. I'll be sure to check it out from the library sometime.
You sure should. And if I might ask, what's in this tea? It doesn't taste at all like the Japanese teas I'm familiar with, and whatever it is though, it's really strong fragrant, and I like the bitter taste. It's perfect for a hard day's work.
Well, that's because it's imported from India. It's Assam Duflating Orthodox, and it has a few sweet tones like Japanese teas, but it has some bitter tones with it too to contrast with the sweet tones. And this one has a slight nutty flavor to help with the whole balance.
Wow, I really like the flavors. Could I have another pot, please?
Sure, coming right up, sir.
Perfect. He finished the entire pot. That day he staggered out of the tea house and I never saw him again. But I knew the arsenic would work. It had to. Within 12 to 36 hours he would be dead, and not a soul would be harmed by him again. And so that was it. Simple, quick, discreet. Nobody ever found out who it was that poisoned him. The world was rid of an evil man, and deaths were avenged. And to this day, I still work weekends at the tea house.